Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Business and Self-Investment Tips Monday. These sessions are all about how we invest in our health, invest in our personal savings, invest in our businesses, which all collectively help us invest in ourselves. I am Nataki Kambon, Senior Management Consultant with New Business Solutions, and this week's session is all about fake cheerleaders and secret saboteurs. The topic is what to do when the toxic members of your family undermine your business and your family relationships, but no one can see it but you. So thanks for this topic. This ends up being part 3 in a series that started with one just about people who are not your supporters in life in general. One of our listeners had a question about what happens when it's family members. And then we had another listener who asked, okay, what if it's something where it's not just secretly sabotaging, but almost outright sabotage, and none of your other family members can see it? So let's dive in. So the advice that I have for this week is let's think of our businesses like our babies. And for many of us, the business is your baby. And if you were to think about being a parent and raising a child, the life cycle of starting a business is very similar in that you have to nurture it, you have to grow it, you have to invest in it, and you do have to protect it. And so if we think about being a parent, and also if we think about being a parent of a healthy child, let's say you've decided to adopt a vegan lifestyle, you may get a lot of people who try and sabotage that and say, oh no, you've got to get the baby meat. Oh, you've got to give the baby this, this, and this. But as a parent, it's your role to filter out all of the different things that are coming, all the different messages, and make sure that you protect your child and move forward in the best way possible. With your business, it's the same. There may be family members who are subtly, overtly attacking your business, and whether it's subtle or whether it's overt, it's your job to make sure that your business is protected. One of the things that I often caution people who say family is more important than the business, so I need to do that first. What can happen is if that is your main livelihood, if that is your main source of income, and it fails, then you may have a period where you would need to be dependent on family members or someone else to live until you rebound. And what happens in some cases is because of all of the volatility, the family members aren't there and people end up struggling. So if we think of the parent-child scenario with our business, and we also compare it to the airplane analogy, if you're on an airplane and your lives are being threatened, what they tell you to do is when the gas mask drop down, you put the gas mask on yourself first, and then you put it on the child. And in this case, you would want to protect you and your child, you and your business from the outside things coming forward, because it is much easier to rebuild relationships that have been damaged when you're coming from a position of strength than it is if everything has been sabotaged and you're left with nothing. You would be jumping through major hurdles to try and forgive not only the people who directly sabotaged you, but also the people who couldn't see through maybe the lies that other person was telling. With that, I just want to caution people not to get into being right in these situations, because often what is driving all of this are emotions. People's fear of other people's success, people's fear of you being the successful one in the family and what that means, and all of these things may be driving the sabotage. Other family members not wanting to choose sides. There are a lot of emotions flying around. There's also a lot of emotions flying around when money comes into place. So we want to tread carefully on how we deal with these things. But if you love your business, if you believe in your business, focus on that and try and stay out of the he said, she said, and proving why you're right. Prove why you're right by being successful in your company and just separating the people who are not in line with that from the people who are, and know that sometimes by being quietly silent, letting the supportive family members know that you're not going anywhere, you're getting yourself together and you'll be back, you'll be able to rebuild those relationships and have the kind of relationships that you want. I also always advocate for family therapy and individual therapy. That's why even some of us business consultants consider ourselves amateur therapists in some cases, because it can't always be about the business in a vacuum. You don't live in a vacuum. You live in a very dynamic world, and there are a lot of different things coming at you, a lot of new experiences, and how you manage and navigate all of these things together is important. So don't feel like you have to go through these things alone. If your family is not there, you can rely on your business consultants, your financial consultants. You can rely on therapists and psychologists and counselors, and know that you are surrounded by them and other entrepreneurs who know what you're going through. And with that, you can come out of this from a position of strength and still have the ability to rebuild relationships on the other side of your success. So with that, those are our tips for the week. Tune in next week for another session, and we'll see you then.